Dear folks, take your group discussion book. It is in the page number 283 and 286. The topic here is suicide, 74th topic, suicide. As I want to say, you side means killing, su means oneself, you are killing yourself, infanticide, killing the child, homicide, killing other person, genocide, killing a lot of people of the community. So, suicide. See, when I come to know about this topic, I just want to say, which is the famous suicide happened in the world. Anybody, the first suicide which man came to know? Judas. Jesus Christ, 12 disciples, once he showed Jesus Christ, and to the, Caesar's army, they captured Jesus, and he was tortured. Judas, he repented and he committed suicide. That is the first famous suicide ever attempted. Then Cleopatra, the beauty queen, Caesar's wife and Antony's lover, she committed suicide. Then Hitler, he committed suicide with his wife. Then any other famous suicides, can you say, okay, local here in our Tamil Nadu estate, can anybody say the famous suicides happened here? Actress Shobana, she is a best actress award, she has won. And any other suicide, Mr. I think Cherian, he is a famous heart specialist. He jumped from the Muller hospital. A doctor who has given life to thousands and thousands of people. In fact, even my father had open heart surgery under his operation. He is still alive, but this gentleman, he jumped from his own hospital. So, suicide, the feeling to commit suicide, it happens not only with uneducated, it also happens with educated people. So, the emotion intelligence, the controlling of emotions plays an important. Once you are not able to control your emotions, what will happen? You tend to go in for suicide, you tend to go in for beating others, you tend to show your anger, you go for liquor, you go for tobacco, you go for drugs. So, more than intelligent quotient, what we need is emotional intelligence to control, emotional management to control your emotions. So, here is the point, can suicide be a solution for all the problems in this world? Number one point, the World Health Organization, WHO, has published a statistic stating the highest suicide deaths occur in the country. Which country highest suicide rates happen? It is Lithuania. This is the country where highest suicide deaths happen. The second is Russia. And third is followed by Republic Korea. Then in India, nearly 1 lakh people commit suicide every year. Out of the total suicides in the world, 10% of suicides happen in India. Out of 100 suicides, 10 persons from India. In India, out of 1 lakh population, 10.5 people commit suicide. From the year 1982 to 2006, there was 67% increase in the suicide deaths in India. So, hope you are able to understand the first point. Second point here, the World Health Organization has informed that India is a country where high suicide deaths occur, and nearly 40% of people who commit suicide are below 30 years old. So, out of 100 deaths, 40 deaths are below 30 years old. The reason for these suicide deaths may be because of failure in the exams. We show much consideration about examination. If he fails in 10th, 12th, they have a mentality that their life is gone. That is only in India, but in American countries they are not bothered. Examination is not a criteria for a man to be successful in life or failure in his life. But here in India, we show much importance to the academic exams. Then love relationship failures. Here they say love is something great. For Americans or Europeans, love is something like eating food. They don't bother. If this love goes some other love, here they think this is life and death. So, love relationship failures, vexed in life, getting vexed. Spouses infidelity. Spouses means wife cheats husband, husband cheats wife, infidelity. Next, the uncared elders. you're not taking care of your elders, father, mother, grandfather, they commit suicide. The family environment, according to the environment, if it's bad, the boy or girl commits suicide. Physical ailments. Physical ailments, what do you mean by physical ailments? You get a disease, what type of disease? Some uncurable disease, then they go in for committing suicides. Next, financial crisis in a family, you don't have income to support, then they go for suicide. Then addiction towards alcohol, you get too much of drinks and you go. Tobacco products and certain psychological problems. So, the reasons for committing suicide in India, right. Number third, it is published and reported that in the last 15 years, nearly 2.5 lakh farmers have committed suicide, my dear friends. 15 years, 2.5 lakh farmers have committed suicide. In the year 2009, nearly 17,000 farmers in India committed suicide in the states like South Andhra, Maharashtra, MP, Chhattisgarh, Karnataka, etc. The majority farmers commit suicide. The farmers commit suicide because of what? Heavy monsoon rains, the farmer commits suicide. Floods, he commits suicide. Drought, no water, he commits suicide. High cost of raw materials, to get the raw materials, high cost. The low procurement price for their products, people buy their products at a low price. High interest rate from finance companies, they get high amount of money with high interest. The farmers are pushed to the extreme of committing suicide. The social reasons like conducting marriage. In India, the main problem of many of the families ruining because of marriage. In America, you go to registration office, you go into a church, they distribute some sweets, marriage is over or one party. But here it is not like that. They have to spend lakhs and lakhs of money for gold, for dress, silk dress, marriage hall, liquor drinking habits, hospital bills, etc. are also the reasons for suicide. If one elder is not feeling well, he is admitted in hospital, either you have to sell your house and pay the bill, otherwise you cannot, big hospitals, they charge lakhs together. What to do? Next year, the suicide ratio and percentage differ with genders, male and female. Now we are seeing the ratio of the genders. The percentage of men committing suicide by consuming poison is more than the women. So men, how does he commit suicide? He takes poisons more than women. Women prefer committing suicide at noon. Women usually commit suicide at 12 o'clock to 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock. But men prefer evenings and nights. Men always chooses night time. Ladies used to prefer the daytime, noon time. Men used to prefer night times. I don't know why. You have to say the reason. Most of the women commit suicide in the first 3 months of the year. January, February, March, April. These are the times where the females commit suicide. Whereas men mostly commit suicide from the month of March to May. March to May, the hot season. That is the time men commit suicide. Many young girls and boys, when they are blamed and when they are hurt by the words of their loving ones, if your lover says something, you feel like committing suicide. So young boys and girls commit suicide when father is loud, father says something, he commits suicide. So next year, it is a gift to be born as a human being. These words will not be contradicted either by theist and atheist. Theist means persons who believe in God. Atheist, the person who don't believe in God. Everybody will say it's a God's gift. The family members of the suicide person, his wife or her husband, children, siblings. Siblings means brothers and sisters, relations, colleagues, friends, neighbors and far off relatives suffer because of the suicide deaths. Somebody is dying, suicide, and he dies himself. His family, friends, everybody are suffering. Next point here. In family, in schools, in colleges, the children should be taught about interpersonal relationships. In schools and colleges, they not only sex education, interpersonal relations. How to move with him, how to move with him, how to move with him or her. Avoiding bad relationships, developing positive mentality. You should have a positive mentality, never a negative mentality. Spending according to the income. You get for 10,000 income, you have to spend within 10,000, not 20,000. and plan to live a planned life, doing exercise and meditations which increase their focusing capacity in life. My dear friends, whatever you do, whatever job you do, you need to have the focus. To have the focus in your work, you have to do meditation and exercise. Coming here, living happily in this planet is every human being's birthright. So we don't have the power to create our own body. I don't have the power to create my hands. Then how do we have the right to kill our body? I cannot create my body. Then how can I kill my body? So a coward dies and kills himself every minute. But let us live a life with a focused purpose and boldness. Whatever duty you do, have the focus. When you want to study, you focus. When you want to do a job, focus on the job. Success or happiness comes only when you are focusing on certain thing. Whether it is a relationship, whether it is a job, whether it is education, focus. That's the most important thing. Okay. நண்பர்களே, இப்போ பக்கம் 283 286 எடுத்துக்கொள்ளுங்கள். 74வது தலைப்பு சூசைட் என்று சொல்லக்கூடிய தற்கொலை. இந்த தற்கொலை ஒரு தீர்வாகிவிட முடியுமா? இதுதான் டாபிக். இந்த உலக ஹெல்த் ஆர்கனைசேஷன் என்று சொல்லக்கூடிய சுகாதார மையம், உலக சுகாதார மையம் என்ன சொல்லியிருக்கிறேன்னு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா, முதலாவது அதிக அளவில் சாவுகள், தற்கொலை சாவுகள் லுத்தவேரியா நாட்டிலையும், ரஷ்யாவில் 2வதாகவும், ரீபப்ளிக் கொரியாவில் 3வதாகவும் இருக்கிறது. இந்தியாவிலே 1,00,000 பேர் ஒவ்வொரு ஆண்டுக்கும் தற்கொலை செய்து கொள்கிறார்கள். அப்போ உலகத்தில் இருக்கக்கூடிய மொத்த தற்கொலை சாவுகளில் 10% இந்தியர்களாக இருக்கிறார்கள். 1,00,000 ஜனத்தொகையிலே 10.5% மக்கள் சூசைட் செய்து கொள்கிறார்கள். இப்போ 1982 2002 பார்த்தீங்கன்னா 62%, 67% இந்த தற்கொலை சாவுகள் அதிகமாக நடந்தது என்று சொல்லுகிறது. அடுத்ததாக இங்கே பார்க்கும்போது தற்கொலை சாவுகளில் 40% பார்த்தீங்கன்னா 30 வயதுக்கு கீழே உள்ளவர்கள் தான் அதிக அளவு தற்கொலை செய்து கொள்கிறார்கள். இந்த தற்கொலையின் என்ன காரணத்தினால் தற்கொலை செய்து கொள்கிறார்கள் என்றால், பரீட்சையில் தோல்வி அடைதல், காதல் தோல்வி, பெற்றோர்கள் வயதானவர்களை இளைஞர்கள் கவனித்துக் கொள்ளாதது, கணவன் மனைவி அவர்களுக்குள்ள அந்த ஒரு கள்ள உறவுகள், அடுத்ததாக சூழ்நிலை, அடுத்ததாக உடல வியாதிகள் இருக்கிற காரணத்தினாலே மனோதத்துவ பிரச்சனைகள், அப்புறம் குடிக்க அடிமையாகுதல், மதுவுக்கும் அடிமையாகுதல், இந்த காரணத்தினாலே அவர்கள் தற்கொலை செய்து கொள்கிறார்கள். அடுத்ததாக கடந்த 15 ஆண்டு காலத்திலே 2 லட்சம் விவசாயிகள் தற்கொலை செய்து கொண்டிருக்கிறார்கள். 2009 மட்டும் 17,000 விவசாயிகள் இந்தியாவிலே தற்கொலை செய்து கொண்டிருக்கிறார்கள். இது ஆந்திராவிலையும், மகாராஷ்டிராலையும், மத்திய பிரதேஷ்லையும், சத்தீஸ்கர்லையும், கர்நாடகாலையும் அதிக அளவிலே தற்கொலை சாவுகள் நடந்து கொண்டிருக்கிறது. தற்கொலை விவசாயிகள் ஏன் தற்கொலை செய்து கொள்கிறார்கள் என்றால், அதிக அளவு மழை பெய்கிற பொழுதும், மழையே இல்லாத பொழுதும், விலை தங்களுடைய பொருட்களுக்காக நல்ல விலை கிடைக்காத பொழுதும், அதிக அளவிலே வட்டியை வாங்கி கொண்டு, முதலை வாங்கி கொண்டு வட்டி கொடுக்காத காரணத்தினாலும், திருமணம் போன்ற மிகப்பெரிய செலவுகள்னாலும், சமுதாயத்திலே மற்றவர்கள் பார்வை தனக்கு வேண்டும், அந்த இடத்துல சமுதாய இழிவுகள் படும் பொழுதும், அடுத்ததாக மருத்துவ செலவுக்காகவும் பணம் கட்ட முடியாத பொழுதும் அவர்கள் தற்கொலை செய்து கொள்கிறார்கள். அடுத்ததாக இங்கே பார்த்தீங்கன்னா, ஆணுக்கும் பெண்ணுக்கும் அந்த தற்கொலையினுடைய அந்த விகிதாச்சாரங்கள் முறைகள் மாறி வருகிறது. அப்போ ஆண்கள் பொதுவாகவே விஷம் குடித்து சாவதற்கு விரும்புகிறார்கள். பொதுவாகவே பெண்கள் பார்த்திங்கன்னா மதிய நேரத்திலே தற்கொலை செய்து கொள்கிறார்கள், ஆண்கள் இரவு நேரத்திலே தற்கொலை செய்து கொள்கிறார்கள். பொதுவாகவே பெண்கள் வருடத்திலே முதல் 3 மாதங்களான ஜனவரி, பிப்ரவரி, மார்ச் மாதங்களிலே தற்கொலை செய்து கொள்கிறார்கள். ஆண்கள் பார்த்திங்கன்னா மே மாதம், மேலிருந்து அந்த காலகட்டத்திலே தற்கொலை செய்து கொள்கிறார்கள். அடுத்ததாக இந்த பூமியிலே வாழ்வது ஒரு பரிசு, அதனால் நாம் வாழ்ந்து காமிக்க வேண்டும். இந்த தற்கொலை செய்வதால் அவர் மட்டும் பாதிப்பதில்லை, அவரை நம்பி இருக்கக்கூடிய தன்னுடைய சொந்தக்காரர்கள், நண்பர்கள், உற்றார் உறவினர்கள் அனைவரும் பாதிப்படைகிறார்கள். ஸோ பள்ளி கல்லூரிகளிலே எப்படி மற்றவர்களுடன் பழக வேண்டும் என்கிற அந்த ஒரு கலையை மற்றவர்களுக்கு சொல்லிக் கொடுக்க வேண்டும். பாசிட்டிவ் மென்டாலிட்டி, நேரான சிந்தனைகள், அப்புறம் வரவுக்கு தகுந்த செலவு, அடுத்ததாக ஒரு திட்டமிட்ட வாழ்க்கை, அடுத்ததாக உடற்பயிற்சி, தியானம், இவைகளெல்லாம் செய்யும் பொழுது ஒருவருக்கு தாங்கள் செய்யக்கூடிய வேலையிலே கவனம் முழுமையாக சென்றடைகிறது. இந்த பூமியில் சந்தோஷமாக வாழக்கூடியது அனைத்து மனித பிறப்புகளினுடைய உரிமையாக இருக்கிறது. இந்த உடலை படைப்பதற்கு நம்ம எந்த விதமான முயற்சியும் செய்யவில்லை. ஆகையால் இந்த உடம்பை அழிப்பதற்கு நமக்கு எந்த விதமான உரிமையும் தகுதியும் இல்லை. ஆகையால் நாம் எந்த ஒரு காரியத்தை செய்யும் பொழுது கவனமாக செய்வோம். அல்லது உற்று அதன் மேல் ஃபோக்கஸ் பண்ணி அந்த காரியத்தை செய்யும் பொழுது வாழ்க்கையில் வாழலாம் என்கிற ஒரு எண்ணம் வரும். So by this, let us start this group discussion. Yes, my dear friends, let us start from here. Regarding you gentlemen, suicide, what is your opinion? Have you tried committing suicide in your lifetime?
No,
have
not
you
yet.
felt anything like that?
No.
Has your friends, anybody has committed suicide?
No.
You have never experienced in this world?
I don't have any experience, and my friends also doesn't have
Nobody.
any kind of,
Okay,
nobody
okay.
not tried. And suicide is making the intention of the people stress, tension, and if suppose if a businessman, if suppose he is lost in the business, he cannot manage the business, so he committed suicide. If education people, academic year 10th people written, they failed in exam, they committed suicide. So these are all created by circumstance and the environment.
Okay, circumstance and environment makes the people to commit suicide. Yes, Miss Kalai, what is your opinion? Have you ever got a feeling like, you know, committing suicide, or have you seen any of your friends or relations who have committed suicide? And can you tell something, your real life experience on this particular topic?
Oh, I'm not tried for this, but my friend, while we were studied in B.Ed, one who attempts suicide because of love failure.
Love failure. Okay.
She is well bright student, though she got died.
But regarding this love failure, I want to say in Kodaikanal there is a point called suicide point. Daily almost 2 to 3 couples commit suicide, I believe so. But nowadays you don't find lovers committing suicide. It happens only monthly 1 or 2, that's all. Earlier it was daily 2, but now it happens only monthly once. It is the progression of this telecommunication, progression of you know, people moving on with their life, and they are able to take exactly what life is all about. Yes, what is your point of view, gentlemen? What do you think about this suicide, this topic, and how to eradicate this problem?
Can suicide be a solution? Nothing. For anything, it's not at all a solution. You can say it's a lack of motivation. We can say that. If a person is highly motivated, if a person has really the personality development, maybe we can say sometimes we have problems in the family, in the society, maybe in the office or in a business. There may be certainly the problems, but how do we look at these problems? It's important. If we take them as a challenge, and he is really highly motivated person. If he takes it as a failure, and that makes him more depressed and psychologically affected, he lost his self-image also, then self-esteem. He slowly thinks of the world is nothing, everything he sees as dark, nobody is there to support him. This slowly makes him to take a solution, but it's not a solution, it creates a problem. We have seen, if a person tries to commit suicide, what happens afterwards? The business, in the offices, an example in the family, if female or male, husband or wife, if a husband tries to commit suicide, then what happens to the wife? Lifelong she has to suffer because of few seconds he has taken this decision. And the children, who will take care of them? Maybe they would have taken care of this person, but we see he wants to find a solution, but it's not a solution, but it creates another problem to the family and to the society. So, and also we have seen the farmers. It's a we have to take it very seriously, the farmers who commit suicide. The structure, because of monsoon failures, and everything is ready, it's a time for harvest, they get a heavy pour. It's there, we have to take care of, we have to train the farmers, and the government also tries to give the subsidies, but it's not that much of it's not that much enough, I think so. Better government or the schools or in the temples, if we try to motivate the people, if we try to make them self-confident, the problems we have, but it's problems are not the problems, but we have to take them as challenges.
Okay, I just want to put a question to everybody. See, the sati, you know sati, when husband dies, wife also jumps into the fire and she dies. Can we label it as suicide? And one other thing, terrorists, you know, LTT like that, they have the suicide bombers. They kill themselves for their purpose. Could we say it is also a suicide? Okay, coming back, one of the incidents of something like, you know, Anna Hazare and his team went fast to death. Can we say it is also committing suicide, trying to commit suicide? So, the suicides, and what exactly you put the suicide all about? Suicide for a purpose, it has been honored, it is honored. Mahatma Gandhi, when he went to fast to death, people appreciated, he became a leader. When Anna Hazare went for fast to death, it is also trying to attempt a suicide, attempting on suicide on for some social purpose. So, that can also could be called as suicide. Okay, here I just want to tell an example of how suicide has created, I mean, where the suicide comes here. See, the society we live in has certain rules and regulations, the norms. Society laws are there, then community laws are there, religious laws are there, then caste laws are there, then family laws are there. Once you are harmonious with this, everything goes fine. Something goes wrong in this particular laws where you are unable to cope up, then you try to kill yourself because to save the disgrace that comes into your family. For example, I belong to one particular community or one particular religion. This religion says you have to marry only that religion. I belong to a caste, that caste says I should marry only that other caste. If I go against that, if I go against the family laws or caste laws, then what happens? We tend to go in for suicide. Okay, what is your point, my dear young lady? What do you think about this point topic, suicide?
When they are negative, they are having some negative thoughts, he commit suicide.
When your mind is fully occupied by negative thoughts, you tend to go in for suicide. Yes.
And then first thing is dowry problems. They are asking lot of money from parents, that way they are commit to suicide. And then why they don't have any backbones, that's why they are asking money from us.
Okay, but I just want to ask you, this dowry deaths she is saying, can you find any male is dying because of dowry deaths, or you know, generally girl dies because of the gas is you know, is out, and only the female dies, not male doesn't die.
Sometimes in the Verbs and all, no, they don't publish it. And the male dies, no,
Actually, it's our culture, sir. From the earlier days, we are following this culture. Girls only give the money to the
boys.
That's all.
It is a culture. It is a culture of every caste.
But it's a very wrong culture.
But people are not ready to change and come out.
Yes.
Okay, I am not going to marry on my own caste. I am going to go for intercaste. I am going to go for love marriage. Girls and boys are not ready. They are ready to accept because the boys will get somehow dowry from girls. So he keeps quiet, even though he has a different thing. Girl also doesn't open her mouth because their parents won't give her money, gold and chain. It is the reason of the boy and girl. Okay, any other point? Any other point?
Actually, it was also created by environment.
Environment, yes.
Yeah, everything. Suicide maximum committed from the environment. It is created by environment. Everything happened by environment. If suppose actually suicide person doesn't get the support from any other persons. If anyone is there to help means they don't commit the suicide. Fraction of a second they taken this decision.
Okay, now gentlemen, what is your point? Say something. Have you tried any time of? Do you know any of your friends who tried to commit suicide?
No, sir.
Nobody. Okay, you gentlemen, have you? Nobody has tried. Okay, good. We had an yes. You, oh, gentleman, give the mic to him. What is your opinion regarding suicide?
So, suicide word is born in Eden first. You
Egan.
told Eden.
Athens.
Athens,
Okay,
right.
good.
Because you told us first to suicide is Judas Iscariot.
Judas.
First God is told Adam don't eat wisdom fruits.
Fruit.
But he is told only Adams. He is then after the Adam told to Eva.
Oh.
But he is not
She didn't follow that.
follow that.
She ate the apple.
But snakes tricked to Eva.
Okay, and she ate. Okay.
She ate. Then first God is flashed them. God is says flashed the Adams. Okay, he is eaten. Then after that go to that. So he will to eat the wisdom fruits. Okay, this decision cannot ability for decision making that side. Okay, then so Judas Iscariot carries friends to Christ friends. He is accepted the kingdoms. Everybody is told the Christ kingdoms, but he not accept every positive thoughts. But Christ is a brave man. So Romans win the fight. He's thinking, Judas Iscariot is thinking, but opposite there is two opposites.
Anyway, Judas has committed suicide. That's the point. Here.
Okay, right.
Okay. Is the first suicide ever heard? But in Athens, that's what he says. Anyway, it's good, and in let us avoid the mentality of committing suicide. Let us have a good goal. Let us have an ambition. Let us see that our life is for the purpose of something. The purpose of sun is to shine. The purpose of moon is to give the coolness to the earth. The purpose of the tree is to give fruits. And the purpose of a human being like me and you is for some purpose. Let us live our life. Nobody is born like us. Nobody is born like us. Nobody is going to be born like us. You and I are unique in different way. The purpose of we coming to this earth is to do something. So let us live a purposeful life, and let us avoid the mentality called suicide mentality. Yes, thank you very much.